He also mentioned certain gaps in the wood. Now this is hard to see with the insulation up, but throughout the house we draft stopped everything. For example, in this corner, any pieces of wood that had daylight coming through, we actually draft stop. All that does is prevent any unwanted wind and gusts coming through your walls, outlets, things like that. So the house is airtight at this point. Now we do check with a blower door test. They will cover all of the vents, all the windows, all the doors, and they'll actually check the vacuum in the house and make sure you don't have any additional leaks. So that will be done closer to the end of the build. And if we do have to make any additional corrections, we will. All right, you had a bowed stud, which appears to be right here. You can see the scab that was added to the side to get that stud nice and flush. Now this is behind a wall, so really all it's doing is making sure when drywall is installed, it's going to be nice and flush against those walls there. And you'll see these throughout the house anywhere we find a bow in the wall, typically behind kitchen cabinets, things like that. We take levels to every wall and just make sure everything's nice and flush for you guys. All right, next thing was some gouges in the concrete. Now you might have seen us marking the slab for high spots, which you can see we've grounded down right here. That just makes sure the slab's nice and level. Low spots will be corrected prior to hardwood. So they will come in, they will put an epoxy down to fill any gouges like this, just to make sure you have a nice flat surface for that hardwood. All right, moving along. You mentioned the nailing patterns for the windows. So per our manufacturer install, every window has been nailed additionally. Now it's supposed to be every other, whatever you would call it, like a pilot hole for the nails, it's supposed to be every other one. We went ahead and added additional just to be safe, but not necessarily required. Just making sure that it's nice and secured for you. So again, there might be certain areas where nails are every other. Just know that that's completely normal. Every single house in our neighborhood is built that way. We've never had any issues with, windows not being secured to the wall. Also adding structural components on the inside, such as drywall, siding, all that good stuff will reinforce these windows even further, and you'll never have an issue with that. The big issue that we have with windows is sometimes they get tight, meaning they're hard to slide up and down. What we do for that is just check that at our quality inspection, make sure every window's sliding and operating how it should be. So as far as the install, I have no concerns. Just making sure they're operating how they should be, which we check at a later date. All right, I'll just look at the last of the repairs here and try to go through everything real quick. You have